Camperdown College became a SunSmart school 4 years ago. Camperdown College is a P12 school and our junior campus already had the SunSmart status, so Camperdown College thought that it would be beneficial just to transfer that onto the senior campus. We live in a rural area at Camperdown, and it's very important that the school models these very healthy habits. So lots of our families and students spend lots of time outdoors, and so we see it as our role to make sure that our students are well informed about being protected from the sun's rays. For Camperdown College to become a SunSmart school, we thought it was very important that we had student voice and agency around the policy. So we spent a lot of time with focus groups, chatting to the students about how we could make this policy part of our everyday practices.
I enjoyed the process of getting to help design the hats and everyone having a decision in how they look.
Getting to choose what they look like, the type of size, the type of colours, and how we wanted the students to interact with them.
The hats are all in different colours, so they're navy blue on the outside and, like mine, have a house colour underneath. Camperdown College thought that we would have lots of blocking from our senior students about wearing a hat. So when we took this to the student focus groups and they got to have a look at all the different hats on the market and have a say in the type of hat that we introduced, we found that there was lots of excitement around this and lots of anticipation about wearing the hats. And we were really surprised because the introduction of hats was just seamless. So we went from one day no hats to the next day all students wearing hats. Students, when they enrol at the school, are given a hat, so Year 7s all get a hat and new students to the school. So there's no excuse not to have a hat. However, if students lose their hat, they have to buy their second one themselves. We're still encouraging students to wear sunglasses out in the yard. The other challenges for Camperdown College centred around swimming sports. We found that students don't own rash vests, and we had that as part of our policy. So speaking to the students, it was decided that students could swim without a rash vest, but they had to cover up as soon as they exited the pool. So students were encouraged to bring long sleeve shirts to the swimming sports, and that's something that they're quite happy to do. So once again, student voice played a role in making sure that the students had ownership about the decision that was made. We had a big celebration day to launch the policy, had lots of stalls and activities around how to be SunSmart, free samples of sunscreen, and I think that got us off to a really good start. At Camperdown College, we review our policies every 3 years, so we make sure that our policy is up to date. At Camperdown, another motivating way to promote SunSmart behaviours is to enforce no hat, no play outdoors. So students know if they don't have a hat on, they're indoors for the rest of the time. We have student monitors who change the UV ratings each day on posters around the school and on a notice board that shines out into the schoolyard.
Every morning when I get to school, I go into the main office and I use the SunSmart app to find the UV. Then I write it on the whiteboard that faces out into the yard so everyone can see it.
Being a SunSmart member is really important for our school because we know that we are educating our future adults and parents in the right way and making sure that they're taking these protective behaviours. We are often very surprised with visitors to the school who comment on how wonderful it is to see our students taking measures to look after their skin outdoors. Other secondary schools could look to their school community. I don't think there'd be one school community that hasn't been touched by illness that's been associated with exposure to the sun's rays. So having guest speakers or students sharing those stories might just heighten the importance of adopting a SunSmart policy.
My mum had skin cancer and melanoma, and since that experience I guess I've learnt how dangerous it can be and how serious it really can be, and the dangers of the UV and how much you really need to pay attention to wearing hats and sunscreen and stuff.
For other schools to become SunSmart, I think it's a no-brainer. Get your students involved and make sure that they play an integral role in not only developing but pushing out the policy.